What's up, friends and family? My name is Will, and welcome to week 15. Today, I want to answer the question that probably a lot of people have had, and I've definitely been asked by friends and family back home, is why don't I upload more? And most specifically, why am I always uploading from my room? I know that I have done a couple things like out and about, or of things just not necessarily featuring a whole ton of views of my surrounding area, and I definitely have some reasonings behind that. Frankly, they might be a little more like excuses, but I still want to address those things. They're all matters that I want to eventually kind of overcome, but they kind of will help you understand the current mindset I'm in. So without further ado, I'm going to kind of get into these basically like 4 or 5 topics that really have impeded me from making a whole ton of videos outside of my apartment. So yes, the first number kind of one thing that is really kind of keeping me here instead of out and about is the classical excuse of time and money. Time-wise, I do have like my mornings free, but it's really kind of constricting. So if I was to go out and do something, I would really only have a little bit of time. So I really can't make a whole like content-filled video necessarily there, but who knows, maybe I should just stop using that as an excuse and really just try it before I really even say I can't do it. But first things first, there I would have to figure out what it is I want to be filming, and I'd have to overcome some of these other issues first. On the topic of money, yes, right now I'm not necessarily like throwing money all around. I really am trying to save up and make sure I have enough money for the bigger expenses. So doing even small trips is a bit costly to me right now. I'm hoping that that is going to change kind of December, January timing, but it's really hard to say. I'm not like being underpaid or anything. Like, my paychecks are fine, but of course I need to be considerate of my budget and how much money I do have to go around. So there's that side of it, which potentially is the only reasoning that's a little less of an excuse and more of an actual reason. But reason number 2 I have is my own personal like introversion. I am definitely a huge introvert when it comes to certain things, and already these videos are helping me in a lot of ways kind of overcome some of those barriers that being an introvert kind of puts in my life. But the big one that this kind of mental mindset kind of impacts me on is filming out and about and around other people. I'll discuss it more and some specifics in my next point, but going out and about and like filming in front of people, whether I know them or not, it's awkward to me. And maybe I always worry, like maybe people will come up to me and like try to talk to me, like, oh, what are you doing? And blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't really want to get all those questions or all the looks or all the stares. But then again, I watch other YouTubers videos where they are out in public and they're not necessarily getting a whole ton of views, or if they are, maybe they can even make content out of that. So I need to start considering that, and this is the biggest one that I really need to just overcome. This is kind of the thing that like has plagued me this entire time since day one of, oh, I should film out and about, and I don't know, that's awkward, and I don't know how I would feel. I don't want to put myself in that situation. But thankfully that is something like I know is going on, and I think it can very easily address. It's just not going to necessarily be like fun. But once I do it the first couple times, I won't have as many excuses. So hopefully I can overcome that pretty easily. But who knows, maybe it'll kind of come to something like another trip, like that Tokyo trip I took, and I do some out and about filming, and that really shows me, this isn't as bad as I thought it was. Or maybe I just plan some fun concept idea to do as a video, and that gets me out of my comfort zone. But The third reasoning, or I guess maybe the fourth, of time and money, I kind of have time and money together, but maybe they're separate. But my third or fourth point there is that my friends over here don't really know that I do this. I have one buddy who does. So I can film around him technically, but I also just don't want to inconvenience people. It's just me worrying about that. But I guess the simple question of, hey, do you mind if I film something short and quick? Wouldn't it be all that bad? Or maybe people would have interest in being in a video for a little bit. Hard to say. I'd again have to just see it and test it out and try. And worst thing comes to it, I can adjust my content around it, and I can make a kind of a solo video there where they're not necessarily in the shot or whatever. Maybe they're holding the camera, and things can be centered on me so they don't have to be in it. Or I just preface it before we go out of, hey, like, I'd like to film a little bit of something, even if it's short. Maybe I make a short about it. That would definitely take some pressure off. But that's all just things I'd have to see. But yeah, since only one person knows here that I'm making these videos, it's really, really hard to make content around other people that I go out with, because I'm still not ready to like explain like, oh, I make YouTube videos and blah, blah, blah. I still kind of find it a little bit embarrassing. Obviously, people back home know, because most of the people watching this are friends and family. But here I've kept it a lot more limited, because these are the people I'm interacting with from day to day. But my one good buddy, who I spend most of my time with, I figured it's probably smart to kind of clue him in. So maybe I'll make more videos if we ever go out and do something. But yeah, so there's that, I guess, excuse. But that's not one I'm ready to address quite yet in my own personal life. But my last final reasoning, which this is the major excuse, and I recognize that, is my own personal laziness. That really kind of has struck me several times, where videos kind of got pushed back, or other such things. Maybe that's kind of able to be attributed to a lot of different areas of these videos, because at the end of the day, some of them can feel like extra work, but they're not really that, like, I'm choosing to do this. Like, my own procrastination is odd, because why am I choosing to do this? And like, I want to do this, but then on the other end, like, I don't want to do this, I'm lazy, like, oh, I'll push it off for tomorrow. Hard to say. It's kind of a lot of kind of back and forth there, somewhat kind of contradictory kind of thoughts and opinions. It's always in the moment I don't want to do it, and I say, oh, I'll do it later. But then later comes, I'm like, man, I should have done it earlier. So yeah, my own laziness is there, just something I truly need to address. Yeah, I don't know if that's big enough of an excuse to really kind of keep me from going out and making videos. I think the major ones are the first kind of 3 or 4 points there. But yeah, I think laziness is something that should be addressed. I'm kind of really starting to work on that a lot now in my life, in a lot of different areas, trying to be more productive. I was very productive a couple weeks ago, and then completely fell off. So I'm trying to be more productive, not only in my normal daily life, but also with these videos. So hopefully that point is going to go away pretty soon here. As for the other ones, money, I kind of put on a timetable very clearly there. Earliest I would start having money again would be December, but then again in December I'm going to be even busier than I normally am, with a lot of like Christmas parties for my classes. So hard to say if I'll really have time to do much there, like out and about. Introversion is something that I'm always dealing with, and it's just gonna have to be one day or a couple videos I just completely tackle head on and show myself like, oh, this isn't so bad, or don't worry about these things that I have been worrying about, and just kind of take the bull by the horns. Friends don't know. That is one that is going to come with time, hopefully. I have a couple friends that I've considered kind of telling like, hey, like, I do this if we're ever out and about, like maybe I'll want to film and kind of leave it at that, not telling anybody that they have to be in videos or content or whatever. But so that's going to kind of wrap it up for today's video. Hopefully it kind of was a decent insight, specifically to my own mind, but maybe into the mind of a lot of content creators, especially kind of like small time. Once you're big time, maybe it's a little less awkward, but I don't know. Excuses. There are always more. But yeah, eventually I want to face all these things head on. But for now, I just want to stop using them as excuses and really kind of break them down for myself and realize like why it is I think that they are valid reasons for not making content. So hopefully in the next couple weeks to months, I'll start actually breaking out and doing stuff away from just all these kind of vlog, like almost just me to the camera kind of talkings, and really just start actually making content outside of my apartment, which should actually be a lot more interesting, kind of give you an actual insight into what Japan looks like and feels like right now, and what to expect if you come, or what's going on with me, depending on your reasonings for watching these videos. So I'm gonna wrap it up there. I wanna, once again, as per usual, give a wholehearted thanks to everyone who has watched today's video, whether you are friends and family like my intro welcomes you. I want to say thank you for returning, and again, for those who are new to this channel, friends and family is not just literally my friends and family, but if you subscribe to this channel, you join my friends and family. So that means you are a returning viewer, and I want to give a wholehearted thanks for supporting me and just the simple process of hitting that subscribe button and maybe even returning for a couple more videos. Hopefully my content is interesting enough for that. But on the other end of the spectrum, if this is your first video and you watched all the way through the end here, well, first, this is kind of an interesting first video to have, but maybe it's a good one because it kind of breaks down my own personal insights, kind of gives you a good view into me before you view any of my other content, and maybe kind of gives you a view into other content creators' kind of mindsets. But yeah, this is kind of the content that you can expect from my previous videos, and probably my videos going forward for the next little bit is a lot of this just me talking to the camera. I try to upload these videos once a week, and I do shorts kind of starting this previous week, every couple days, just kind of when I have short kind of content that I want to release. So if you are new, I want to say thank you for coming. Thank you for viewing all this way, and I hope you enjoyed. And maybe this video wasn't your cup of tea, but potentially I have other videos that are a little more up your alley. So thank y'all for watching. I hope y'all have a great week. Stay tuned for next week, where I am hopefully going to release another video. I haven't fully figured out what I'm going to talk about there, but who knows? Maybe it'll be something super fun, super out there. Maybe I will be out and about, or maybe I'll be back here. But I guess we'll see in a week's time.